name is Esther Mupere. I am a firstborn daughter of Dr. Ezekiel and Dr. Mupere. I'm the eldest of 5 siblings, Peace, Edna, Ezekiel, and Taylor Mupere. And I am elated to stand before you today. So we all know how plants grow and bear fruit. When growing plants, one first grows them in a nursery bed until they're seedlings, then they're transplanted to the main garden. It is in the main garden that most of the work is done. I joined Bethel in grade 5, third term 2016. I'd just been transplanted from Green Hill Academy. Once a seedling is transplanted, it needs so much care because it's weak and might die easily from the shock on its roots. My first 2 years in Bethel were difficult, not only trying to catch up with the new system, but also trying to socialize with others. I never approached anyone except my siblings unless someone approached me first. Even when I talked to others, the most they could get out of me was hi. Most who know me understand I am not the most social person. My first friend in the school, Salome, who has graduated with me, approached me first, opening a long friendship that started my journey with people. Salome was friends with the whole grade 5 class of 15 people, and hanging out with her meant talking to every person she was with. And that was a struggle of 3 years. And in those 3 years, my parents and teachers did so much to make sure I was growing stronger in the new soil that I was planted in. My parents taught me to set priorities. They taught me to be myself when others are different from me or have different experiences from mine. For example, at the time, my classmates had watched more movies than I had in a lifetime of 11 years. And so I kept asking my mom if I should watch those movies, but she'd refuse. And I remember feeling left out for not watching those movies. Another example is I had a lot of confrontations with teachers during that 3-year period, and my mom taught me proper responses in such situations. I remember one of my classmates had misplaced an item and I was blamed for it, but the teacher punished me anyway. I got angry and I wanted my mother to confront the teacher, but she advised me to respond differently that would not incite the teacher's anger towards me, especially since I was new. I believed I'd done something wrong to God because everything was hard for me, but God in His faithfulness knew His plan for me and gave me the strength to go on. Once the transplanted plant starts to grow and sprout new leaves and branches, the owner has to prune and weed. 2019 was the beginning of lots of painful pruning. By this time, a new student had joined our ranks in grade 7, Dowdy, who has graduated with us today. Mr. Nshura made me class representative in grade 8. I had no problem telling people what to do because as the eldest of my siblings, it's what I do best. But helping others, guiding, encouraging, in other words, basic relational skills, I was lacking. So I struggled that year. Mr. Nshura would force me to socialize with my classmates and people outside school, but I was not getting the hang of it. And I would feel lucky that the numbers were dwindling because that meant less people to talk to. But I'd like to thank Mr. Nshura for not giving up that fight because little did he know the struggle will keep going. Mr. Chalet joined that struggle in grade 9. She had to beg me and kick me out of class in order to speak audibly. And during this period, my parents too were trying to get me out of that shell. They would have me sit at the table as a family. They'd bring guests home and I would have to host the parties held at home. Most times I would back out by hiding in my room or in the bathroom, but my parents kept the fight and I would like to thank them for that. We all understand that at some point during the plant's growth, it's susceptible to dangers. COVID-19 put us in a lockdown in grade 9 and 10. Again, by this time, more people left our class, and now it was just Dowdy, Salome, and I. I was alone in most of those online classes. I remember complaining to my classmates, "Why would you leave me in there?" Especially in those literature classes. It was difficult to work with my classmates ditching me all the time. So as the lockdown drew on, I